it was a must needed event for the animation industry. My co-panelists were wonderful, and the kind of thoughts, ideas which we shared throughout the whole of the day was like a lot of takeaways from here. A lot of things I learned from them, a lot of things they learned basically. So there is a lot of things we unlearn also.
It's a great initiative done by Animation Express to bring the ecosystem together. The panel aside, I think at the event itself, I saw a lot of industry, both ends of the industry, of the digital ecosystem and the animation ecosystem. Platforms, broadcasters, OTT players, production houses, independent digital media companies. And I think it's great to see that attendance. On the panel end, I think I had a great panel, a set of great panelists with me from diverse experiences, rich conversation.
I get to meet a lot of people from the ecosystem where we can share our experience, share our ideas, and being away from Mumbai, I mean, we are based in Bangalore, so flying occasionally for this kind of events to Mumbai and get in touch with the ecosystem is really exciting.
The experience was great. I mean, I've known Anil for a very long time, and he just keeps doing what he does really well. I don't think there is a forum which brings the animation community together, and I'm always happy to meet a lot of the old friends.
For a first time, this was an excellent summit. It was really nice to see brand owners. It was good to have all the animation studios. It was good to see some broadcasters. So it's a good combination, and some few OTT players. So having all of them together on the same platform, exchanging ideas and talking about our animation industry, it's a great start. I think this will only grow bigger and bigger. All the best for the next year.
It was good. It was good to interact with people who are content creators, who are looking at monetizing it, interacting with broadcasters, who are bringing it to the kids, and also interacting with a lot of people from the advertiser community who, for some reason, are not yet fully into looking at kids' content as a important in a part of the media plan. It's more the add-ons rather than the main part. So it was interesting to hear all their points of view. So I love the session on IPs and content. I think that's the future, and hopefully India will be the hub of content in the future. Let's hope.
It was really nice to be here and be part of this forum because first of all, I met many of my friends, and it was really nice to chit chat with them for the pre-session, and then the similar thing when we did the entire panel discussion. For an industry perspective, I think it is very important to have such kind of forums because it gives a good perspective of each, the advertisers, the agency and the broadcaster, and it helps all of them to come together and decide on certain things, that how this can be taken further.
I think it was a very different experience because normally, we are just exposed to what the broadcasters or what the channels and what the clients have to say. But I think today, hearing content creators speak about their experiences, their challenges, just the vistas of how big kids' content is in terms of the different things that it offers, I think it was a good session to sort of listen to and be informed.
Only in forums like this do people come and actually discuss it and it goes forward, because otherwise the points are raised but never answered. So this is a good dialogue in which you raise a point and you give a direction towards where you want to go. I can clearly see that there is a lot of enthusiasm, not just in the content makers team, which is production, as well as the producers, as well as the broadcasters, but I can also see that now there is a lot of excitement getting built with brands, and that is very, very heartening for people who make content and then want to monetize it.
I think the panel that I moderated just now was very good panel. They were all from the industry, and I think the kind of questions asked about the animation industry and whether we're doing enough of building characters, Indian characters in this industry was very interesting. Also, the entire dichotomy of how much money does one spend on a regular, mass media communication versus building engagement through characters was also very interesting. It was a great session.
Experience was fantastic. Animation 2020 as a platform, because 2020 is going to set a platform for next 5 years. And with the kind of opportunities that we have, it should be Vision 2025 rather than Animation 2020?
So it was great. This is the first summit, so it's very exciting. There have been some great panels and looking forward to the panels. So it was good so far.
As usual, a wonderful summit. We need to have more and more of such events in India, considering we have just discussed the subject of Animation 2020. If this industry is going to grow and at the pace at which this industry is growing, we need to have more of such events where the entire industry comes together, figures out what the future challenges are and how to resolve them. As usual, a wonderful event put up by Animation Express and everybody else.
Well, Animation Express has been a mouthpiece of Indian animation for a long period of time. We have built a brand India through Animation Express, and this is the first ever time that we have a conference centered around the kids ecosystem, and I congratulate the whole team for setting this together, and not only the conference but also the animation awards. I think that's a big thing to happen for the industry.
I think it's been a wonderful experience. Although ours was the first session, before post that fireside chat with Sony EA. So I think it was quite insightful the way Mr. Anil Vanwari sort of conducted this fireside chat, and quite insightful thoughts shared by Sony EA. Even our panel discussion that I have experienced has been quite exciting. Very different and unique thoughts have been shared by different marketers, and I think all in all, I think this would definitely aid a lot of development of marketing to kids in the country.
I'm personally extremely thrilled because I shared a panel discussion with some of the stalwarts who have been admired during my entire stint in the animation industry, so I couldn't have been happier.
I had a great time. I great turnout and a lot of interesting conversations and discussions, and what I found was that listening to people and chatting with them, that there's a good promise for animation in India and creating content and the future of animation in India.
I completely enjoyed myself. This is the first time I'm actually attending a panel of this sort and a summit of this sort, and it's very nice for us to interact with agencies, with channels, and try and share our learnings and get to know about what's happening in the animation space and the kids advertising space. So I've had a very good time.
I think it's a very good summit. We should be kind of rooting more of these sessions, and we should also kind of look at it more objectively and deep dive into the animation and the kids space. It's something that is never done before. The first time around, and I think that the crowd and everyone from the industry who has come here is just an endorsement that how big and scalable it can get. So we should kind of really kind of be committed to this cause of kids animation and the ecosystem around it.
So I think very interesting, especially I loved the panelists who were there. Quite interesting conversations that we had with them across kids marketing. In fact, there were FMCG people, Pidilite, Parley, even retailer Hamleys, which we closely work with. And Srija literally moderated it pretty well for us. So interesting.
Absolutely loved the experience. I think I was just sharing just a moment ago, in fact. I love the way even the panel panned out, because we had people from, right from people manufacturing toys to people who are running this whole experiential, educational experience for children, to people who are creating stuff that are used in school projects, to two food products that were on the panel. I think that itself made for a very interesting, conglomeration that we had on the stage there. So yeah, very well put together.
Oh, it's been great. Honestly, we've been part of kids animation for some time now. So it's really nice to be back here on that part. And, it's really helpful because for a lot of time, for example, just finished panel, we never realized on how much of content that we already have can be, used across a lot of the existing platforms. It's great because it just opens your horizons to a lot much more than what you really are thinking about, rather than the exact cocoon that you have been setting up. So it's great on that part.
Well, it was very good. It was my first summit first animation summit. So I really enjoyed so far. It was really good.
I think it was a fabulous event, and what really impressed me is the panelists. It had diverse people from different industries all speaking about the similar topic, but all had a lens, a perspective on how you eventually market to kids.
Yeah, I think it's my first time at the summit. Very, very excited to be part of the summit. I got the opportunity to introduce our new IP to advertisers, clients, brands, media planners, buyers. So a great forum to catch up with all of the fellow industry folks, talk about our new IP, talk about what we've done in the recent past, and what we should look forward from a Discovery Kit standpoint. So we have created the right forum. We have the right industry folks to kind of come together, discuss, debate, evangelize on what's going to come in the kids animation space. And I'm really looking forward to the awards night tonight.
I think this is one of a kind of a thing that should happen often. Okay, and it's very fruitful. And obviously the panels and whatever the people we are meeting, and so it's wonderful.
I'm so happy that this is happening, because it's a wonderful platform. We have all been missing this for a while. We normally go to platforms where the live action is the main side and animation is just a part of it. But I think so it's great to see that KAM is for animation, for storytellers, so it's amazing platform.
Quite fantastic actually. The turnout, the biggest test I think for a debut sort of setup usually is how many people turn up and who turns up. I think there you have scored quite well. The animation industry is who's here, so that's great. Yeah, kudos.
So this is the first time I attended something which is in the animation space, and it completely opened up a different world for me. I always thought animation was, whatever said and done, it's more kids, but the kind of animation the people are doing right now, it is just opening up, and I think it's only going to go better and better.
Great opportunity for broadcasters, for studios, for IP owners, everybody to come together, be on a single roof, discuss the way forward. So it's a great opportunity, and I think that the start of this, it seems to be an interesting proposition which has been floated by Animation Express.
Kids genre is expected to grow even more in the coming few years. The best of power that the kids have, the access that the kids have, and which is not only on a television but also on internet, on the digital front, is unprecedented. And you can see the genre growing by leaps and bounds every year.
I really had a lovely time, and I can see that this event is only going to get bigger and bigger every year. There is a lot of people who have come here, and there are very interesting panels going on, and we are all here to share and learn, and I think it's a great platform, and you are the right company who can do something like this for the industry. So thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here.
I've only seen half of it, but so far whatever I've seen is fantastic. I think entire industry of animation and kids industry is here. I'm very excited to be here, and already went through some of fantastic sessions, and I was also speaking on session, and I learned from my panelists as well. It's a great experience so far, and looking forward to the awards in the evening.
Congratulations to the Animation Express team for organizing this wonderful event. We had a great meet, because we met most of our colleagues from the industry. All the producers, all the major production houses, the broadcasters were all here. So it was a very good interaction session, and it was very well organized. So I think it was all great.
It's a wonderful atmosphere here, very professional, and we should have these kind of meets very often. India really needs that. And I think it's one of the platforms where you get to express yourself, and understand more about our own culture and our own industry. So I'm very glad to be here.
I got to interface with a lot of people, a lot of media doyens, I would say, people who've been in the industry, and the best thing was to get to learn. What we've probably read in websites and newspapers, I got to meet a lot of people here who spoke about things, be it on the stage or just an informal interaction, industry experiences, OTT experiences, and all these were very enriching. I often believe there is no learning if you're going to sit in cubicles. That's just 30% of learning that you have in any work experience. That would constitute only 30% of work experience. The minute you step out of your office and get to meet I wouldn't say like-minded people, different-minded people. There are a lot of perspectives to what you thought was a particular phenomena. So that way here I got to understand the perspective about kids, how platforms view kids, and most importantly, what they feel is the growth prospects and what could we as content creators go a long way in creating useful content for kids, and about the technology. So this 8 hours that I've spent through the day has been extremely useful, and I hope to take back to my network and plow back what I've learned.